Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how I made this logo plaque over my shoulder here. The plaque is made from a 4-inch thick piece of pine. They call it a cookie because it's not board style cut, it's a cross cut. It's been in our shop for about 5 years drying, so it's more than dry enough to do anything with. I should have thinned it out a little bit more because it is really thick, but I left it this thick in case I wanted to use it for something else in the future if I ever improve the logo to be on the back wall. In this video, I will show you how I milled it out on a router table. I then sanded it and smoothed it out, and then finished it out using a finishing paste wax. Then I'll show you the weeding process of the vinyl. I didn't show the cutting process because there's not a whole lot to show because the machine itself does all the work. And then I'll show you applying it to the actual plaque and finishing it out. Today we're going to be leveling out these cookies from a pine tree that I milled off about 5 years ago. We're going to smooth them out so that we can be used for a couple of different projects. There's two of them here and one there. This one's going to become the backdrop for the YouTube channel videos on the inside studio. The other one's going to be turned into a table that's going to be mounted on a post that's at our cabin up north. To do this, we're going to be using a hot glue gun to anchor them down to the table, or our table to take off fastest. We're going to basically just try to level them off so that they can be smooth enough for they look good. So here I am gluing down with a hot glue gun. Okay, now it's had a couple of seconds for it to dry up. We're going to make sure it's pretty stable. It's moving the entire table, so we're pretty set up. This is the process of milling out with a router table. This uses a standard router that I have had for a couple of years. The table itself is one that I made from plans that I found on the internet. It's made out of linear slides that go horizontal and vertically. It takes a little pass, about a 16th of an inch to 18th of an inch each pass. It's also mounted on a piece of plexiglass that makes it so the housing actually holds up to it and does a pretty good job. This is a pretty repetitive thing, so I'm going to talk over it while I did it. Kind of explain why I'd like to do the YouTube videos, and hopefully you guys follow along and listen to me and get to know me a little bit better. Okay, so now that that's flattened out, we're going to take it off of the boards and flip it over. To do that, you take a pry bar like this, you just kind of slip it underneath there, wherever you can get it in, and pry it up to loosen it off the board. And you can see it's all nice and flat now. The other side isn't as important because, well, one of the sides isn't as important because it's going to go on the wall, but we're going to smooth it off just so it makes it uniform. When we finish it, it'll look nice. So here I'm doing a second pass on the bottom side of the piece of pine, getting it all flattened out. You do both sides of it so that it can take finish. If I left it rough, I wouldn't be able to finish it, and then it could mess up the piece of wood over time, oxidizing it and making it look kind of funky. This kind of smooths it out really nice and makes it so I can actually mount it and not have it sit all wobbly on the wall itself. The reason why I'm doing these videos is because if you know me, you know that I have a seasonal company. I work from basically April through the beginning of November. The rest of the time I have myself, in which time I do a lot of projects. This is just a very, very simple project. I get them much more advanced. I'm just trying to learn how to film these and make them actually look good. So here I am starting to sand. I'm using a DeWalt hand sander it's on the 20 volt platform. It's connected up to a dust extractor shop vac that is a 2-part extractor and a shop vac itself that makes it so there's very little dust, which makes it a lot nicer in the shop, so it's not completely covered with dust. And you can see a little bit on me, but it's not that bad. I turn it on the side to clean up the side so that way we can finish it. We want to minimize oxidation as much. You can see I changed the grit there on the sandpaper. I started with 80, I moved to 100, then to 120. I could go up further, but with what this is for, being on a wall as a plaque, I didn't see it necessary to go past 120 grit. Also, with me doing these videos, I'm kind of trying to do them to keep myself accountable, because otherwise I kind of end up spending a lot of time just kind of doing nothing during the winter. And when you have 4 or 5 months of doing stuff, you need to make sure you actually get up off the couch and do things. And hopefully this will get me in gear to actually do something at least every day, if not every other day. So I finish it out here with a paste wax that kind of seals it up pretty good, but it doesn't really change the coloring much. In the end, it actually turns out pretty well. This is the weeding process for the vinyl. I sped it up quite fast because it's kind of cool to see it all get exposed a little piece at a time here like this. This is about at a 30 rate, so it's moving pretty fast. The actual process itself takes a little while. It's kind of boring, but I think it's kind of cool to show it where you pull everything off like this, from the white, the black, into the red. And then I didn't show the 3 layers going together because it blocks it with my big sausage fingers. Here I am actually applying the I guess it would be called a decal now, to the plaque. Here you can see as there I'm straightening it up, and then I just rub it down, and then you flip it up, and then you take the backing off of it and smooth it out really well. That's how I made this very simple logo plaque. I'll be hanging it on the wall in the back of the studio here so that when I shoot videos you'll be able to see it. If you like this video, please click subscribe. If you waited all the way to this part of the video, I want to thank you very much, because I know that you're probably either my family or my friends, because who also stay around this long. I very much do appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you for giving me the chance, and I'm trying to do the best I can to make these things better every single time.